Good afternoon, everyone. Philip from Blackburn Markets here. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a bit of a quiet week in the markets. A lot of uncertainty due to the US elections. So a lot of the pairs we'll be looking at, we're not really looking at any US pairs due to the strange movements in the market. So my colleague has recently just uploaded a fundamental video that does cover that side of things. So do give it a look, or have a look at that. But for us, we will look at the technical things. So we've got the main is sort of the Aussie pair we'll be looking at, and the pound and the euro as well. So we'll dive straight into it. So here we've got our Aussie CAD. So you can see here, this is on the daily time frame. We have this retracement. So what we're looking for, a potential move, is to come to this previous low we have had. Excuse me. You can see here that it has made that low. Also had a bit of a support. It did break through with a gap. It did do a retest, and it's continued to move further down. You can see it is now coming closer to that point again, so we are looking for a potential bounce or break. We are also using our Fibonacci's as well, Fibonacci level, so you can see it has gone past that 50% level. We're looking, if it does go past that, we can look for a potential 61.8 as well, as it is close enough to that high we have had. If we do look to retrace this whole move, let me just have a look. Yep, the whole move, you can see it is now currently actually on the 38.2, so it is a very strong level for it to look for potential sort of bounce or hit that strong resistance and go further downwards. If it does break, we will look for when we look for moves upwards, we will obviously look for our resistance areas for potential take profits as well, if you were looking to take trades to the upside. Moving on to the Aussie Swiss franc. There it is. So again, all the Aussie pairs. So here we can see this is the 1 hourly time frame. We have sort of a bit of a wedge here forming. So you can see from this uptrend, we're looking at this wedge. So potential break from moving down to the wedge, and I'm sure if we put, let's have a look here. We'll just quickly put our MACD in here. So I don't usually use a lot of indicators. The only time when I do use indicators is I look for a bit of divergence. So I will put in, let me just find this MACD of ours. So you can see the settings are here are 5, 34, 5. So these are all Fibonacci ratios. These are sort of through my years of analyzing the markets, I found that this works particularly well with the Elliott wave as well. I actually did make a video on that, so do have a look at that. But yeah, for now we've got the fast EMA, which is our 5, the slow EMA, which is our 34, and a MACD SMA. So our simple moving average for the MACD is a 5, and we apply it to the close. The colors I set up, so I just like the colors, but you can set the colors to anything you want. But you can see we do have this divergence. So you can see we've got this trend line moving up. So I'll get rid of this one so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. So you can see we've got this trend line moving up. So it is on par with these sort of boxes at the bottom. And you can see here that we do have sort of a divergence. Now, for those of you who are unsure about what divergence is, so what we're looking for is an upwards moving trend line on the top of the peaks of our chart. So you can see our peaks on the tops. So there's a top over here, there's a top, and sort of a top over here. And then obviously in the opposite direction on our indicator at the bottom. So this can be your MACD or your RSI, which is your so you can look at it for your RSI as well. And you can see here we're looking for a trend line in the opposite direction. So you can see they're contradicting trend lines. So that is what we're looking for. This kind of shows depletion in the market, bit of a slowdown. So potentially we could look for a break to the bottom as well, confirming that from our MACD, moving further downwards. If it does break to the top, we'll look for, you can see it as a very high move. But you can see here it is also actually hitting support areas as well. Sorry, resistance areas. So that did offer previous support. I'll just quickly draw this for you here so you can see it a bit better, just using our box shape. As you can see here, it has offered previous support, 1, 2, 3, and a bit of a resistance as well. So on the 4 hourly, again, you can see that is what we're looking for. I'll just get rid of this again, delete that. So that is pretty much what we're looking for. The hourly time frame for the Aussie Swiss, for the Aussie Swiss franc is a potential break or bounce. There's a lot of resistance, so we could look for a potential move to the downside. Moving on to our Aussie Kiwi dollar. So we have, this is on the 4 hourly time frame, so you can see it's actually completely blown past this low we have had. and you can see it is sort of retracing, so we can look for potential retest of this low and then to continue further downwards, keeping in mind that we do have this resist support area we had previously, which is also sort of on par with this sort of consolidation zone as well. But back to the 4-hourly, so we look for that move to that zone, and then a potential bounce, or if it does break, we will look for further patterns to develop before we look at any other further trades. Moving on to our euro pairs, so we've got the euro pound, which is our EURGBP. So we have had a broken double bottom. You can see it as sort of retesting that zone again. So this is the 4-hourly chart as well. You can see it as sort of retesting that zone. So not really a nice break we were looking for, not really a continuation and a completely nice retest. We usually have a strong break and it comes back for a nice smooth sort of retest it further down. But this is sort of just stalling on that zone, so we could potentially see it. This could still bounce to the further to the upside, but if it does, sorry, not bounce, sort of make that double bottom further to the upside. If it does bounce or hold the support or resistance area, we could look for it to go further downwards. Moving on to our euro yen, so this is the EURJPY. This is a 4-hourly time frame, so what we're looking at here is sort of a move inside of a channel. So we've had this sort of downtrend on the 4-hourly chart. You can see a very strong downtrend, and now it is sort of moving inside of this this channel zone. So look for potential bounces in that to take trades in the direction of the trend, or if it does break this channel, we could look for further trades in either direction, whichever it does break. Now moving on to our to the pound pair, so we've got the pound Aussie dollar, the GBPAUD. So this is a 4-hourly time frame. So you can see it as sort of in a consolidation zone. I'll just get rid of that. So you can see here we've had this sort of consolidation section here. A lot of uncertainty, so it is sort of stalling on that zone yet again. But this time we have a nice pattern forming. So we've got a sort of a pendant or a wedge pattern shape forming. So if it does break to the downside, we could look for trades there, either to the down or to the upside, keeping in mind that we do have this zone here that could offer a strong resistance area to continue that pattern. If it does break to the downside, look for this low. As you can see, it has also hit a very strong resistance area previously here, and then turned to support. So that could yet again offer a strong support for potential take profit targets if you do take the break from this trend line, and then possibly trading another double bottom, depending on what it does. And now moving on to our last pair, which is the pound Canadian dollar. So here we can see as a nice double top we have on the daily. You can see it has offered, it's in a previous resistance area, so we've had another resistance here. So we had the support, turned to the resistance, again a resistance zone, and now potential another resistance. On the 4-hourly time frame, we have had this sort of almost looks like a dragonfly doji. So we could see that potentially forming a sort of a shooting star as well, or evening star. You can see here that it has made that big bullish candle to the upside, and that doji, and now also forming that. If this does close in a big red candle, we could look for that as a confirmation, potential confirmation candlestick pattern to continue this, or to signify this reversal of this move. If it does break, we could look for potential targets of our previous highs and resistance areas, obviously, as we always do, for potential take profit targets. But that is it for this video, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, give us that thumbs up, click the subscribe button followed by the bell icon to get notifications of whenever we release new videos. If you want to get in contact with us, please do so. Our details will be provided down below in the description of the video, or you can go to blackbullmarkets.com, click on the little green button that says live chat, and we'll get in contact with you. Or if you prefer to contact us over the weekends due to your busy week, or you just prefer to contact us via email, please do so at support@blackbullmarkets.com. Alright everyone, thanks very much for watching. From everyone here at Black Bull Markets, safe trading.